We're cutting across live now to Kuala Lumpur, where a press conference on the missing flight MH370 is happening at the moment.
Data from the military and the commercial, those radar data is going to be used by these experts to assist them in locating. That is the primary focus. One, yeah.
And you're not surprised that people are wondering if people are hiding it. It takes you 5 days to reveal a very key piece of information.
No, because what we indicated on Saturday was that there was a possibility that a tender. And the primary radar does not indicate what aircraft it is. Until today, we are still not sure that it is the same aircraft. That is why we are searching in 2 areas. That's why we are deploying all our vessels and also aircraft and from the neighboring countries in these 2 areas. If we know for sure that it is in the Malacca Strait, we would have moved all our assets there. So basically, there is no real confusion unless you really want to look for confusion. So this PC today, ladies and gentlemen, is really to clarify that, to make sure that the information that we have been saying in the last 3 days is consistent. It's transparent, we've got nothing to hide. And actually we owe it to the parents to the families to actually tell the truth.
Sanjay, I got a question for you.
I would like to reinforce what my minister says. I would like to clear this up. This is very important. When the Prime Minister on Saturday afternoon said that we have got to expand the area of search, we, the military, went back and sat down, thinking of the area that needs to be expanded. And also, we were baffled by not getting any distress signal from this particular aircraft if they have gone missing. So we decided that we should now review if our air defense radar tracked this particular aircraft. When we look at their recording, it proved that there is a possibility that this aircraft take a turn back. But we are not sure whether it is the same aircraft, but it happens to be in the same area that signal that comes up on the radar screen that makes a turn back. So we decided that immediately we collaborate with the radar of DCA in Kota Baru. And to a certain extent, we saw some breakthrough. So it raised the possibility of getting higher for us. Now, yet we are not sure. But then I take the risk of if we make a comeback, the speed of the aircraft and so on. If we go to the streets of Malacca, and if I do not respond by sending some of my assets that particular night, just in case I have got to do something. I contacted my minister, sir, this is what I think is going to happen. I would like to deploy my asset, which is already in the West Coast, which has not yet been deployed to the East Coast. We sent some ships immediately from Blue Boat that particular night to the place that where we suspected the aircraft would be. And the next morning at first light, we sent a Charlie 130 immediately to scout the area to see anything. Now, it is a possibility. And the slightest possibility I must respond for the sake of the passenger on MH370.
So were you tracking this in real time? It's an unidentified object going across the lake. Were you tracking it in real time? And if you were, why did you not say that?
No, we did not track it in real time. We saw a recording of it. We were not sure.
All right, now the search for MH370 entered its 5th day as Malaysian military sources are now saying that the missing jet turned and flew hundreds of kilometers to the west after it last made contact with air traffic control in the country's east coast. But a senior military officer has now said that the aircraft changed course after Kota Bharu and took a lower altitude. It made it to the Malacca Strait. Meanwhile, the CIA has said that terrorism cannot be ruled out just as yet.
This is not the time to relax, because we know that there are terrorist groups that are still determined to carry out attacks, including especially against aircraft.
Has there been chatter that would indicate any kind of terror link in this mystery?
I think there's a lot of speculation right now. Some claims of responsibility that have not been, confirmed or corroborated at all. We are looking at it very carefully. We CIA are working with FBI and TSA and others. Our Malaysian counterparts are doing everything they can to try to put together the pieces here. But clearly this is still a mystery, which is very disturbing. And until we actually can find out sort of where that aircraft is, we might have an opportunity to do some of the forensic analysis that will lead us in the right direction.
At this point, you're not ruling out that it could be
some
sort of
rule
terror?
it out, not at all.
Ships of the Indian Navy that are on patrol in Malacca Strait are participating in search and rescue operations. The Indian Navy satellite Rukmini, or GSAT-7, has also been activated to try and pick up any clues that may lead searchers to the missing Boeing 777-200 aircraft. Well, an all right, good night were the last words heard from the missing flight, which were revealed for the first time at a meeting in Beijing between the Malaysian government and Chinese relatives, in fact, who are anxiously waiting and angry over their loved ones missing and not enough information being given to them. The lack of progress in the case is also agitating a number of people. Locating the plane, family members had requested for a meeting with the Malaysian government to seek answers to some of the queries that they have at the moment. Mahi Ramakrishnan, senior journalist, is now joining us live from Kuala Lumpur. Mahi, what is the situation currently? We understand there have been conflicting reports that have been coming out from the government on the one hand and the military from the other.
One point, you have the Malaysian authorities, the airport authorities, saying that 5 people were on board and their bags were dropped off. And then you have the Malaysian police chief saying, no, everyone got on board. And then now you have the military saying that they actually picked up a radar where the flight could have flown over the Straits of Malacca before disappearing. So now we have the rescue team, which is combing the Straits of Malacca, and then suddenly you have the military again saying, no, that was not right, and I don't know who said it, and you shouldn't even have reported it. So everything is really so up in the air. It's getting family members really angry. The Beijing government is extremely angry because, Malaysia has a long history of trying to suppress information, and people are thinking that the government is withholding information, and that is really making the family members who are waiting anxiously for any news really angry.
Well, Mahi, there's a lot of anger as well at the moment. Also shock at the fact as to how in this day and age a bizarre situation like this can take place where the flight absolutely vanishes from the radar.
Exactly. That is exactly what people are asking. How come a flight can just go missing and no one is able to find it? And this is, over 4 days. So there have been lots of theories which have been floating around. And again, because the Malaysian authorities were not forthcoming with information, people were saying that it could have been a terrorist hijack. And then, and now people are saying that because of the stolen passports, chances are that it might not actually be a hijack. Just two Iranians who are actually trying to migrate and could have bought the services of people smugglers. And, if you really look at the South China Sea, the Vietnam part of the South China Sea, the sea is very shallow. It's about 60 to 80 meters deep. So if at all the plane had crashed there or there was debris, the investigators should have been able to find it. And even the Straits of Malacca, they're combing it, and if there is debris, if fragments of the plane, if the plane has crashed, then the fragments should come floating up. Because the fact remains that, almost every part of the plane floats, including the seats. So, the question remains as to why no one is even able to, identify anything.